Good morning, all you cool cats and kittens out there. We're going to learn how to make a cup of espresso using the Profiestro machine. Um, Real quick, just to name a couple of things you're going to need. You're going to need this little canister. You're going to fill it up with about 2/3 cup milk. It really depends on how much coffee you want to make, and you can modify your milk on that any way you need to. Espresso coffee beans, grounded. It's already here. There's some in the freezer if you want to use what's already here. As time goes, I'll just make sure we get stocked up. You're going to have this arm, which is going to mount under here. And then you'll see this little piece here sitting next to it. That's actually going to come right here to the arm. And then in this little spot, it's going to turn to the arms about to the left off the corner, and then it's going to rotate back to lock itself into place. You're going to go pretty much to where it comes about halfway off the front. You'll need a shot glass to be able to catch the coffee when it comes through, and you'll need something to put the coffee into this piece here. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. I've already put milk in that little canister, so you won't see me do that. We'll come over here, and just to keep things less messy, I like to put like a paper towel underneath the coffee holder. And I'm just going to scoop a few things, sort of making the coffee about level to the top. Or should I say the espresso? About level to the top. And the paper towel pretty much just, allows you to capture whatever you need to capture. So push the coffee inside the cup, making sure it's there. And then this guy's got a nice little flat attachment right here. You're going to take this coffee holder and you're going to press it upwards. And you're just pressing it, not super hard, but firm enough that it's going to compress the coffee that's in the cup. And then whatever coffee I caught on here, I just sort of put it back. And I tamp it one more time. So that's there. All right. So for the machine itself, there's a couple different spots. You have your power button here. You have your steamer here. The button itself controls it. And the steamer is going to come out of this bar here. You have your button that has a cup in it, and that's going to allow the water to come through and go into your cup of coffee. You have a steamer button here, which allows this arm to steam. This opens it up for water to come through, and if this button is pressed and it says ready, it'll shoot water down and it'll go into a steam pattern, and you'll see how that works. And then this, if you put your espresso coffee beans before they're ground up into this little chute here, it'll grind them up and put them down here. And then you can take this bar here and you can push it in, and there's a button in the back. When it hits it, it'll fill your cup with coffee to where you don't have to use a spoon to scoop it and everything. And then once again here, you can have some extra stuff just stored, ground coffee that you want, things like that if you're going to be here. If not, I recommend keeping it in the freezer just to keep it nice and fresh. All right, so let's start this thing up. We're going to turn the power button on, and we're going to wait for this light here to turn ready. And it'll turn green. It takes 1.5 minutes to do so. You'll hear it sort of purge. There's a water tray. These whole trays come out. There's a water basket right back here, which pulls out. You can fill it up with water, and there's a siphon tube. And just make sure that that's submerged under the water when you put it back in. And then that's where it's going to pull its water from. So best to have fresh water. All right, as you can see, the light lit up green. So from this point, I want to do two things. First, on this arm, I want to make sure water is coming through it. So I'm going to aim the arm down to this little hole here as a catch, and I'm just going to turn it on. Water is going to come down through it, and then I'll turn it off, which is good. Now, if it hasn't been used in a while, and you turn it on, just sort of leave it on 5 to 10 seconds and make sure that water comes out. And then let it run for probably about 10 seconds to 20 seconds because it's going to need to sort of purge whatever's sitting in the tube. After you've done that, come over in this one that says cup. You want to hit that too. And you want to see the water dripping down through the machine itself, and that's what would go into a cup. Now, while you're doing all that, you don't have to worry too much because this is a catch tray. And while it drains, you can just drain it right here in the sink for whatever's in there. It's sort of like a catch-all for you. This little button here that's got the steam on top, when you hit that, if you let it sit there for, I don't know, up to a minute, it should turn green before a minute's over. And aim this little arm back down to that hole. It'll steam, so it'll show you how the steam goes. I'll turn that on real quick so you can see it before it goes into the cup. You can see that steam's coming. I'm going to move this a little bit closer, which means it's going to cut my head off a little bit. But, yeah, at least see a little bit better of what's going on. Hopefully you're able to look at this on a larger area and be able to catch it. As you can see, steam is coming through the machine and the light is turning green. My arm is facing that hole. And all I do is I shoot it to where enough water comes down. I see the water come out and turns to steam, and then that's good. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to put it onto the machine like that, and I'm going to just sort of twist it until your handle comes straight off the front. Now, I'm using a shot glass, but if you know how much coffee you want in yours, then you can use whatever you choose, but some type of measurement's good. Either 1, 2, I'm going to end up putting about 4 ounces in my coffee. So I'll put my cup over here. I'll bring this, and usually at home I have a wider shot glass, but I'm here at the Mountain House and I don't find a wide one, so, and I don't want to use just a regular glass one because I don't want it to break, so I'm using their silver one that they have here. I'm going to uncheck this steam one to where they're all white, and then this cup one, I'm going to hit it, and it's going to fill that cup up. And before it gets to the top, I'm going to turn it off. Once it hits those little metal bands, those 2 bands, I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm going to pour that out. Now, understand that this can be a little hot, but once again, I'm going to line it back up and get ready to do this again. Once that turns green, I'm going to fill it up to those bands again. And then turn it off. That allows me to grab this, once again, pour it in my coffee. And I'm just going to put that in there to catch any residual drips and stuff like that that are there. And I'm going to pour that in the coffee too. Now, most people will do the coffee and milk, and then some of us, like myself, I like to have a little bit of sweetener, whether it be vanilla, mocha, stuff like that. Of course, you can also use chocolate and everything else like that. You can use whatever you choose. Personally, today I'm just going to use, they have a little bit of sweetener here, so I'm just going to use a little bit of the sweetener here, just because I like my coffee to have a little bit of sweetness to it. Doesn't take a lot, just a little bit, and then that pours in. Sorry, baby, I didn't use a lot of it. Alright, so from that point, these 2 are white, and I'm going to take this little coffee arm off. just because I want it out of the way. And I'm just going to put that over here in the sink. And sort of, if you spill any, clean that up, of course. And now it's going to time to focus on this arm. Once again, I'm going to purge it. Oops, sorry. I didn't turn that green. I'm going to hit that middle steam one. And I'm going to wait for that light to turn green again. It's dripping a little bit. Don't worry about that. There's no issue whatsoever. It's just the espresso machine itself doing what it does. I'm waiting for this light to turn green. Once that light turns green, I'm going to purge that arm again. And it doesn't take long to purge it, just sort of like what that steam is doing right there. Alright, it's green. And then I'm going to bring that up, and it's going to be hot, so you got to be careful. And now, here at the house, I don't have a thermostat that I would normally put in that. I'd put a little temperature gauge in there, and I can see how hot it gets. We want it anywhere between 140 and 160. Actually, I got this guy. So I can turn it on. And we want it between 140 and 160. I usually do mine about 160. I'm going to turn this on. And what it's doing is it's steaming the milk and frothing it if you want it. Don't worry about that light going off or anything else like that. That's normal. The steam is going through. It's hot. Now we're just going to wait for it to climb up to about 140 to 160, in between those two temperatures, whatever you like your temperature to be. If you like it to be really frothy, you'll take it down a little bit, and the more narrow that thing is at the top of the surface, the frothier your milk will be. So I'm about 140 now. You can also feel the sides, and it starts getting a little bit uncomfortable if you leave your finger on there. I'm going to take mine up to about 145, and 150, sorry, and then I'm going to cut it off. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take this out. I stopped it at 150, and it's about 153, which is good. I'm going to take this cloth or paper towel, I'm going to get it wet. I'm going to uncheck that button there, and then this arm, I'm just going to clean all that milk off the arm, and I'm going to open it up real quick to shoot any milk that might have gone into the arm out. And you just basically clean the machine. You want to make sure that that arm is nice and clean. Because you don't want any milk or anything else like that to dry on the arm. If it ever does happen, you can take that tip off and clean that tip out, and most likely you'll have no issue, continuing the stream of water steam or milk coming out of that top. But it's clean. Everything's good there. My milk went to 150, which is good. I'm going to turn this machine off. Always make sure you turn it off. And then I will take my milk, pour it into the coffee, and I am set. I can do 2 cups if I want because of the amount of milk I used, or a lot of times either Jenna or Carmen will come up and say that they would like a cup or something else like that. And then that water and stuff that collected in here, you just take it over, dump it out, and of course rinse it off. Depending on how often you use it, you know, and stuff like that, but just, you know, keep it clean. No issues whatsoever. Every once in a while I'll take it off and do a hand wash of it, of course, but definitely keep it clean, good to go. Alright, that's how you make it. About 15 minutes. It normally takes you anywhere between 7 to 10 minutes to make a cup of coffee with everything set. Alright, I love you guys, and I hope it helps out. Bye.